Okay, so here I am today having an interview with Karsten Madsen from Morningscore.io. Karsten is the co-founder of Morningscore, and that's an all-in-one SEO tool, and it's really been designed to be like a game. So the user experience on this is gamifying the journey to improving your SEO and achieving more organic traffic to your website. Welcome to the chat, Karsten. Thanks for joining me. Would you like to care to just share a little bit more on that intro?
Yeah, but Peter, you're already an expert. I see. That's exactly what we do. I mean, we just we make it fun to grow your traffic, organically. So free traffic from Google, and it's I usually say it's a bit like Super Mario and making money at the same time, because obviously this is serious business. So it is built like a game, more like a strategy game actually that you would play on the computer. It will like give you tasks, and once you complete them, you will hopefully grow your traffic, and that's motivating. And the motivation is key because we found out that there are so many SEO tools out there. It's like, there's like 200 of them. But the biggest problem that people have in SEO is getting it done. You can analyze all day, but you need to get it done to get the results. So yeah, that's the problem we're trying to tackle.
Yeah, right. That's an interesting take, because it is interesting to analyze your stats and where you are with SEO. But obviously then there's a lot of work and strategy that goes into actually, getting it done, like you say.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about how the game role operates in the product? Are you scoring on things like, page rank, visitors, all of these kind of metrics?
Yeah, we score on all of it. So you basically complete missions or you rank higher, and then we provide you with XP that's like leveling you up. And then as you have a little space city, so we have a space theme. So we have a little space city in our tool, and it grows as you level up. So it's a bit like Civilization, that game on the computer. Yeah. So that's it.
Sounds like a cool concept. And do teams use the tool together, or is it usually one kind of SEO person focusing on the tool?
It really depends. Some teams, the bigger teams, use it together, and that's one of our problems right now. That the team features, everyone is like, "Hey, can we assign people to tasks and so on?" These missions, and as high on the to-do list to make the team functionality better, because we found out that that's actually a really good way to, use a tool like that.
Great, neat. So whereabouts are you in the journey of the business? How long has it been operating, and how did you get there so far? Are you bootstraps? Did you raise any cash along the way? Just a little intro, a little background.
Yeah, so we're 5 years old yesterday, or 2 days ago. Yeah, so we survived. So we have had angel investments, and we've been lucky to get some public funding. In Europe, there's a lot of basically soft money, it's called, where the government gives you money basically to do product innovation.
Great.
And we use that to build some of the features as well. So total funding, like 1 million euros roughly over the 5 years. And this year, our goal is to get to cash flow positive. So no more funding. It's going to be really good for us. I hope we get there. It's always a journey. We're in a solid place now. So the only question is, do we need a little bit more money before we are cash flow positive, or can we make it with the current runway, of cash?
Yeah. Where are you in terms of like active users and MRR?
Yeah, so we have 800 paying customers, a bit more than that, and $50,000 MRR. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so really good situation. Congrats on the 5 years. And now I wanted to move into asking you a little bit more about product, because from my perspective, it seems like you have an interesting angle on product. So what's been your journey on building out this product and your experience so far? How did you approach that?
Yeah, the wrong way. I listened too much to the so-called experts. So, there's this saying it's very heard in Silicon Valley that, you got to ship fast, and,
Yes.
You cannot ship too early. You can only ship too late. There's all these sayings around that. So we did that. I was listening to that advice, and first we did a beta of the tool. We couldn't do anything. I could see the product wasn't good, but I was like, they tell me just ship, just get the feedback. So what happened was we did have this free beta. So people actually did come in and they did give us feedback, and it was great in that way. And they told us it's not great, it's shit. You need to fix so many things. And we know. So it's like, okay, But then I was like, but yeah, now we're gonna, and then there's another saying in Silicon Valley and so on. It's like, you got to price your stuff, you need to charge for money for it, even, early. So we did that. We stopped the beta. We had 4,000 people testing it. And we actually had a really, good run on that. It was spreading everywhere. But then we started charging and it was clearly not ready, the product. And then we killed all the hype. We got 30 customers out of those 4,000. Don't want to calculate the conversion rate on that. From beta to paid, that's very bad. And yeah, the product wasn't ready. So the next year and a half, we were almost dying. I remember it wasn't going well. And then, kind of last minute, we released version 2.0, which introduced one of our most used tools. And that was a smash. I mean, that was a hit. And then, from there, we survived. And, that's really when we released 2.0 is when I realized, okay, we can actually do this. We might survive. Now we are at version 3.4, just released a few days ago. And yeah, so my whole take on this is like, you can ship too early and you can start taking money too early. And if I had something I could do differently, would be to make sure people think the product is good before charging for it. At least, have a decent group of people saying if they love it. And also consider that if you're in a market with 200 competitors like we are, you need more time. It takes like 2-3 years to build a good product when you have a mature market with 200 competitors in SaaS. I mean, if you're doing something entirely new, like crypto or some total new category of SaaS, I don't even know if that exists anymore, but, then you can do with less. But, 2-3 years of product development with a small team of 3 engineers, that's what we needed at least.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Actually, I've heard that on average, SaaS founders are finding it to be around 2 years to build out a product that customers value, and that they're having a decent recurring kind of validation on their product. So it's interesting to hear your take on that. Did the fact that you shipped early and started charging, did that give you any insights and learnings that you used for the V2 that actually did make have some impact? Or do you feel that actually it just gave you some kind of negative impression for your early adopters?
It was all negative, because what happened was when we started charging money is we went from having a lot of people talking to us on Facebook and, sharing it everywhere and talking about it. So we could just basically get the feedback from the crowd. To after charging, I started writing people emails because no one was saying anything anymore. And it was just empty. No one would, I said, please give us feedback. There's empty. And I realized at that point, the worst thing you can have with a product is just silence, So we had like 6 months of silence and no one really cared. There was a few happy customers that we managed to impress at that point. But that silence, I will never forget it, So no, there was nothing great about it, honestly.
Yeah, especially if you were having that momentum of like really good feedback, and especially if people are commenting in public forums. I mean, that's a really great thing to happen.
Even if it's negative, like these guys still have a lot to do. They all told us the UX is great. They said, oh, it looks great, but it can't do much. That's also what I believe as well was the case. So that was great. But, it doesn't have to be even positive, because as long as people keep talking about you and they say, oh, they're on their way, there's something positive there, not just total shit, then yes. I believe that's still powerful.
Then that gives you something to work with, and you're driving, that people are paying attention. And also that they expect that as you develop and improve the product, that they're going to be there for when it's more valuable and they need it. That's quite an interesting take on things, especially that you have quite a competitive space, right? So it's a busy market. There's a lot of tools in this area. So you needed that extra time to innovate and make sure your product was valuable. Now, you mentioned that you shipped something in V2 that really made an impact. So you got some more traction there. What was the feature, and how did you conceive that feature? How did you know what to ship, and did you expect it to have that kind of resonance with the market?
That feature, we didn't know exactly this was going to be it, but we knew it was going to be important. So it was basically the health part of our tool, so like an on-site crawler. Don't want to get too technical here, but it basically scans your website and gives you ideas on how to fix their problems and so on. And I knew that I didn't like most of the health tools out there. I thought they were either too complicated or too simplified. And I didn't feel good when I was using them. And I wanted something that felt good. So that was actually the hardest product design we ever did, because we had so many meetings where we were just like almost giving up, because no, we want it to be, because first my designer did something and I didn't like it. It was like, you just copied the others. We needed more. Then the programmers came in and they were like, oh, we could do it more like that and that. So basically the entire team started giving feedback, and it became like a Frankenstein at one point. But so there was a lot of pain. It took like 2-3 months to build it. There was a lot of pain. And then in the end, we struggled so much with getting it right. But I think somehow that struggle turned out to be, then it was a one-hit wonder, so to speak, when it released. Everyone thought it was cool. I mean, it's not like we released ChatGPT or anything like that. We didn't shake the internet, but people liked it, and it turned us, into a cool company.
I mean, that's really something when you're building a product and you're in the early stage. Are you using that score mechanism as a kind of conversion tool, or is that already a paid feature for users once they're already on a premium plan?
So we haven't done much, free tools, because we see all of our competitors are doing it. So at this point, it's a lot of noise to get through. The SEO tool industry is probably SaaS on steroids. I mean, I don't think you see many other categories of SaaS with such a hard competition for product-led growth and, SEO, organic growth. That's what we're good at. So that's what everyone does. So it's something we want to do at some point, but the competition is so high that we're like, okay, just focus on building a great product and having a free. So the one thing we did that worked really well was we made it very easy to sign up for our tool. So no credit card, very few details. Like, you need to give us an email, and then we send you a password after that. So that's all you need. One email, and your website, and that's it. Then you're inside.
Easy to sign up and start trying out the product. So for people that want to try this out, it's morningscore.io. Is there anything else that they can do to try or learn a little bit more, or any place you want to point them to?
No, I would really just say, if you're a little bit curious, that would be awesome if you just test it out, because, it's instant and people can test it. And the tool is supposed to guide you to get going. So even if you're not an SEO expert, I mean, we have a lot of stuff, and we have a community as well. So when you join, you become part of this community. So where people help each other. So it's all really easy to get going.
Fantastic. Okay, Karsten, thanks so much for sharing Morningscore.io with us, and also your journey on building that product. It's been awesome to chat with you.
Yeah, Peter, lovely to be here. It was very cool.